All right, today what we're going to be discussing is it better to use a pistol 5.56 or is it better to use a subgun pistol 9mm? We're going to get in that today and show you a little bit of differences of what we... All right, so the first weapon that you'll see in our clips here today is we're actually using a 9mm Tavor. The Tavor is obviously a bullpup design, so bullpups are really good at managing recoil. You have all that weight coming back here. You have that full length barrel and a shorter overall weapon, and it's actually almost the same size as this 8-inch pistol. So the reason we did that is kind of what's the best truck STHF, what's the best truck gun, what's the best gun that you can carry or weapon system that you would carry with you that's more than just a pistol, because sometimes a pistol isn't enough, right? And we've seen that in a lot of different riots, blocking the freeway, you know, this thing with Venezuela and what happened in the past there, which is very interesting, back in the collapse of like 2001, I believe. Anyways, we have a lot of options now, and things to consider, right? So this was the first weapon that I built. This was a combination of different things to build the AR, but I knew that I wanted something shorter. So I had my full-size AR, which was great, but keeping it in the truck barrel is a little bit harder to get around the steering wheel. It's harder to maneuver with that thing when you're sitting down, which when you're sitting down and being in a vehicle, it kind of puts you in a vulnerable position. You feel secure inside of your vehicle, which you should to some extent. However, you are kind of a sitting duck, and it is better to be a little bit more free. This is what I went with, and honestly, I think these are a great option. These are a great option because they're light, they're plentiful, and it's a Lego gun. What do I mean by Lego gun? Everything here is bought separately. There's so many options to your taste and what you think makes sense, right? And it's gonna shoot a 5.56, 223, whatever you have it chambered in, which is a rifle round, right? And that rifle round was designed to defeat light body armor, so Kevlar, okay? Now the Tavor that we have featured in here, again, that was a 9mm. You can of course get the conversion, that would make it a 5.56. Is a great option too, but with the Tavor, there are expenses. The Tavor starts at maybe $1,600 to $1,800 is usually what I see them go for. This one was a 9mm conversion to start with, so that would be about $1,400, which is more reasonable. The AR pistol, you can see the big things to think about with this is, you know, how is my recoil going to feel? How easy is it going to be able to bring up while I'm in the vehicle? Or if you do dismount and you're out, you know, how easy is it for you to bring it up and engage a target? The Tavor is amazing. I would honestly love to have a Tavor in my collection. If it was one of those you could have one gun, I'm really leaning towards maybe that would be it. Now this pistol was built for about $670, I think, with the optic. I got on sale at Optics Planet. And then the slings, you know, that's going to be up to you. But the pistol itself was about $670, which is pretty decent. That's a lot less, right? Ammo's a lot less. The weapon itself, again, you can modify it. It's going to be a lot less. This is the inexpensive option. And this is still my go-to. So depending on what spectrum of what. Also think if there is an incident that you are involved in and something happens to the weapon itself, i.e. you are pulled out of your car by protesters, you engage targets, you get yourself free, that's great. Law enforcement is eventually going to catch up to you, or you're going to stand by and wait for them depending on how safe you feel in that situation. They're going to take the weapon. Number one, they're going to take the weapon. So is it a lot easier to lose $600? Yes. It's definitely something that, hey, if they take it today, you can go and get. Whereas if you saved up that $1,800 to $2,000 for a weapon, that might be harder to replace, again, depending on your financial situation. So what makes sense to you, right? So the AR pistol is still probably one of my favorites. Recoil-wise against the Tavor and this are very equal, and that's a rifle round against a subgun round. Now the other option that we have is this. This is my baby. This is one of my favorite weapons that I own. It's a CZ Scorpion Evo 3S1. Most people just call it Scorpion Evo. And it has been a great gun. Now this is my truck gun for this reason, and you can do them to the ARs, however I didn't because I already built that one, is that it has a collapsible stock. What I had before was a Chevy Silverado. This fit underneath the third seat, the pull-up, I always get kind of that bench style seat because they always have that secret compartment. This is nice to have in there. All right, this is an easy weapon to bring up, engage the targets that you're engaging. If you need to get more serious and get out of the vehicle, or if you have the availability to do that, put this on the steering wheel, engage targets, right? So this gun's in the middle of both of those weapons, I would say. Again, you have the rifle caliber against the subgun caliber. This is a subgun caliber, it's a 9mm weapon. You're still getting that, this is a 7.5-inch barrel against an 8-inch barrel. But you're still getting that compact design. This is a lot lighter. It folds up, and you're getting the low recoil. Both of them have very little recoil. Now, with this and what you can do to the AR, not to my knowledge to the Tavor, is the differences in selecting fire. So you have semi-automatic, and what I've done to this one here is you can go all the way back to binary. So you have safe, fire, binary. What's really nice about this and what you can do to the AR is you have binary options. Binary options are a great option. So what do we have that with binary? So right now the weapon is on safe. You can flip this down. It's on semi-automatic or single fire, however you want to categorize that, right? And then you have binary. Binary is a great trigger system, especially in this style of weapon. Now I can definitely do it to the AR. The triggers cost about $400 to $500 depending on which company you want to go with. This one's a Franklin Armory, a little bit less side. It had mixed reviews. I've had no problems with it. I'm well over 1,500 rounds with this thing, and I've dialed myself in. We'll get into that a little bit later. But the binary trigger is a great option because what that allows you to do is if you do have it in your vehicle, it's on safe, you're able to draw the weapon up, click, click, engage, and you're firing, releasing, and firing. So fire once, release once, fire. So once you've gotten that down, and I'll show you a clip of my cousin shooting this one, as you saw there, it's fast, right? It's so close to fully auto. Obviously it's not. It's still just you pulling the trigger as fast as you can, but it assists in that. That's a game changer. I think that definitely helps engaging multiple targets. As those of us who maybe have served before or are in the business, we know that fully automatic fire isn't very accurate. It's one of those things where honestly most of the time it's going to be single fire because you want to engage your target and lay down whatever, accurate shots. Accurate shots count. Again, if it's a mob type situation, that might be a better option. So that's why I really like this gun. It's a little bit thinner. I feel like it's a little bit lighter. This has taken over the spot for my truck gun again, mostly because of the folding feature, how light it is, and it's a really nice weapon. I think it's the good medium between them both, in my opinion. Again, the Tavor, especially if you get both conversion kits for 5.56 and you have your options for the 9mm, that's probably the best gun overall. But what makes sense to you is learn your area, your situation. I live in a dense wooded area, so I'm not looking for too much range. The AR is going to offer that in places that are a little bit more open. So if you're living in maybe the southern region or southwest region where things are a little bit more open, maybe it makes sense to go a little bit larger in caliber or get more distance. We'll do a distance video on an 8-inch barrel on an AR. This for me with some hollow points inside, I also carry one with a ball round, works perfectly. It's meant to engage those enemy targets. It's not gonna overshoot where I want it to be. If you watch my other video, you'll see I did a video against ball round and hollow point rounds. If you watch my other video, you'll see that I did ball round versus hollow point rounds and why penetration matters. In this case, hollow points don't over penetrate, and that's why I like this. And this is my truck gun. This is the gun that I choose to use over them all. So what is the best option for you? That's what you're gonna have to look into. If things do go bad, if things don't work out the way you are, you're in a bad situation, I think this is the best bang for your buck. The AR platform is proven, tried and true. You get to pick what barrel you want, you get to pick what handguard, foregrip, sights, everything to this. It does have the over penetration factor, so that is going to be on you for cleaner shots. However, if you need the distance, you don't need the distance, you need the intermittent. It's light, it's fast, and it's powerful. If you know the kind of situation that you may come into, you can pick a specific gun. I wouldn't have no problem taking this gun to get home if it's a get home situation. This would do just fine. Clearing homes, you know, sub guns kind of territory, that's where it is. But if it's the end of days and I get to pick one of the two, I'm going to go with the AR platform. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. We do appreciate it. If you'd like to leave your opinion down below on what you think the best get-home gun is or best weapon for self-defense, obviously this can be used in a home situation as well, go ahead and leave those comments below. I'll get to them as soon as I can. But I'd love to start a conversation on what you really think is the best option for you in your situation and maybe others. If you did like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you do like our content, please subscribe. Thank you.